Hey, family and friends, it's Jason and Shamika here.
We just want to say thank you all so much for joining us at our wedding today. We know you've been waiting, and we're so happy that you could join us.
So sit back and relax and enjoy this interview. My initial impressions of Shamika was obviously we see physical. So, she's beautiful. And, she had a laughable personality about her, easy to talk to. That's what I remember. That was memorable.
When I first met Jason, I thought he was some kind of Spanish dude because he had his hair grown out. He has like real nice loose curls, and I was like, "Are you Spanish?" And he was like, nah, I'm not Spanish, but he looked Spanish to me. But I remember just laughing a lot with him. Like the initial interaction was a little funny. And then we just stood and we just talked and we talked and we talked and we talked. It was wee hours of the night, and we started realizing that we had a lot of things in common. We didn't have kids. We talked about that and why we didn't have kids and family stuff. So that's my initial interaction with Jason. Well, we did like a double date, and there were multiple parties involved, and we went out, and I remember we had a really good time. We went to Club Euro, and then after that we went to to Denny's. And
Don't tell them what happened.
I'm not gonna tell you what happened at Denny's. We had a real good time. We realized at that point, obviously, that we had a real nice connection, and we continued dating from that point.
I think I realized when I found the one when I knew I could be myself around Shamika. I didn't have to pretend or hide anything about me. It was just being natural, and seeing that she accepted me for who I was, and just not having to pretend. I think that's when I knew it was the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say the same thing. Just realizing that someone accepts you for all your flaws and is not putting pressure on you about anything, just making sure that you're okay, and has never asked me to change anything about myself. So I think that's for sure. I think we realized that pretty early in our relationship too.
We got engaged at Cooper's Hawk. They had a little private room that, with the help of family and friends, we set up and, made it look elegant. And Shamika thought she was going to some event.
To BET Experience dinner with Kia is what I thought I was going to.
So she had no clue, and then when she walked in, all the family and friends were there, and that's pretty much how it happened, right?
Yeah, it was a complete surprise. Kia told me that she's an entrepreneur, so it made sense that they wanted to tape different entrepreneurs for a BET show. And we had to obviously get our makeup and our hair done, and I should have known at that time, but I didn't. And we walked in, and I remember Kia told the hostess, BET. I guess that was the key word for we're here. And I walked in, and music was playing. It was John Legend this time.
Yeah.
Was playing, and Jason had a whole setup, and our family and friends were there. It was kind of COVID-ish time, so we couldn't have, obviously, he couldn't invite everybody that we would have wanted to be there, but our immediate family and friends were there, and he was standing there with the Marry Me sign, and it was beautiful. And that's how we got engaged. Jason is, which everyone knows, is very punctual, and I don't know if that's from his island upbringing or his military experience.
Gotta be on time.
Okay. He don't play about time. And myself, you know, I have my father's blood in me. And I'm not saying we take our time, but like we know people never gonna start on time, so we take advantage of that and take our time. But not Jason. Even if you know you're not gonna be on time, if you tell him 3 o'clock, we're gonna be there at 3 o'clock. We're usually like the first people at events because of him. So I admire his punctuality. He's never late for work. He's never late for appointments. That's something that's really good to balance with myself.
I admire your preparedness. Like you always seem prepared when you know, we have anything going on family-wise. You have everything in order, because you leave it up to me, you get Publix wings and water. But you know how to get all those fine details in order. So I admire that.
I gotta say Jackson, and having Jackson is, even though Jason and I have been together for like almost 10 years at that point, the turning point of our relationship was Jackson. And just seeing how attentive he was to myself and Jackson. I had an emergency C-section, and he was like so concerned. He was like, "Nikki, you okay with that?" And I was like, "How is the baby gonna come out?" And he was just like, "You don't feel that?" Like during the whole point. And when Jackson came out, obviously I was pretty much bedbound, and he just like immediately took on daddy role and started to, you know, go into that role. And I was just like, wow, like this is all like a whole nother side of him that I had never experienced. So for me, that having Jackson was that moment for me.
Jackson was definitely life altering in a good way. But of course, you know, you just gotta it brings out another side of you that you don't even plan for. It had to be something from Jeezy. So any Jeezy song, I don't care, anything from Jeezy. I can't even pick a song.
Because I know all of them.
It had to be anything from Jeezy. That's her favorite artist. So when Jeezy come on, y'all tripping.
45, about that time. Well, for me with Jason, early on in our relationship, I remember a time of going out with Jason for his birthday, and that 2 Chainz birthday song was like the hot song of the time. So anytime I hear that, like I think of like the first birthday that I shared with Jason. Remember that? It was a big song. It was a big song. I remember that was the first birthday that we had ever celebrated together. So that was something that anytime I hear, I'm gonna think of him.
What has been the most enjoyable aspect of planning your wedding so far?
Enjoyable. I'm gonna say just knowing that we were able to put our ideas together to come up with a cohesive event. We value friends and family so much, and we're happy that we were able to do something where we could bring everyone together on both sides. It wasn't our original plan, but it still worked out even better than our original plan. So I think the most enjoyable part is knowing that A, we're gonna see y'all 2 days in a row, and B, everyone can just come together. It's not so much about the, you know, fanciness of it all. It's just about celebrating the love and how we've come together as one.
Yeah. The most enjoyable part would be it just being different. Like she said, we're gonna. I mean, hopefully you guys come out for the reception part. But yeah, just being different and making it our own Um, it's enjoyable altogether.
How do you support each other during challenging times?
We do. Um, we just talk. Like, we're friends. You know, we get along really well, and if we call one another and we talk about things that have gone on, you know, that have frustrated us, we just talk to one another. It usually ends with a joke, and that's the way that we both bond. Um, yeah, we just talk and we just talk each other through it. We encourage each other, and I think the realization that it's the two of us together over all the adversity is usually what helps us to get over anything else that's going on.
Yeah, the friend factor is big. I mean, we could talk to each other about anything, and it does end in a joke. But it's therapeutic, and it gives us an opportunity to hear a different aspect of how somebody may look at whatever is bothering you. So, yeah, that definitely is how we usually deal with it.
Is there anything quirky or surprising about your partner that you love that people might not know?
Why are you laughing?
Anything quirky? I mean, Mika have her moments. Sometimes she act like she's slow. So I don't know, like, and I still haven't seen her degree from college. So I'm still trying to figure out did she really graduate? But that's another day. But quirky, I mean, she has her moments where, you know, she has to even sit back and be like, did I really do that? I'm tripping. But I think that I'll say that. But most people might know that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Jason comes across real quiet, and he is not that. And I know a lot of times when people meet him for the first time, they be like, "Oh my God, Jason's so quiet."
I be chilling.
And I'm like, "What, Jason? This Jason?" Jason is not quiet at all. Jason talks all day long. Jason plays all day long. Nothing is ever really taken serious in this house. Even when I'm dead serious, it's still a joke. So I think for the people who think that Jason is really quiet, you're probably the most talkative person I know.
What are your aspirations and goals for the future as a couple?
I would say just to build our family more. Obviously, like I said, grow our family and just do things, make more special moments with our family and friends.
Yeah, growing our family is, and growing our household is the next two major steps that we plan on taking. We enjoy being parents, so we would like to extend that and try for another child. And we also enjoy having our friends and family around us and surrounded by us, so we would love to have a bigger space to be able to do that. So those are the two main things for us that we are going to be working on expeditiously. You may even come up with that word.
It's TR word.
So what? Suburban.
If you could offer a piece of advice to your future selves, what would it be?
I would say for my future self to just listen more. Everything is not an insult. Everything is not a dig or shade. Sometimes there is a lot of value to what Jason says and what he says. Sometimes, as women, we don't accept it in that way at first until we think about it. But I would just say listen more, because there are real key elements that he shares with me a lot that I miss because I take it one way. If I took more time to listen to the words that he said, there would be less friction or less emotional output in that state.
Yeah, I would say probably open up more emotionally. I don't have to be hard all the time. I can express myself more, and because I have a tendency to just avoid conflict, it's worked for me, so it's hard to stop it now. But I would say, yeah, just open up more and express myself a little bit more. Thank you for listening to this interview. Lets you get a deeper insight on us.
Us.
125-25 be there. 126-25 be there. Shout out to all my dogs at the crib.
Hey.